Welcome to Women Talking Tech, where Bonnie Sainsbury talks to women business owners about how they use technology and social media in their business. Today, Bonnie talks to Shana Cherry, CEO and co-founder of Shape Your Booty, boot shapers that keep your boots tall and wrinkle-free. Shape Your Booty has an online store at www.bootshapers.com and uses Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and YouTube to market their product. Welcome, Shana.
Boot Shapers started, I guess, maybe a year and a half ago when I love boots. I have a bit of a shoe fetish, actually, and boot fetish. And I was looking for something because my boots kept flopping over in the closet and, wrecking the boot and also just kind of taking up room in my closet because I have quite a few pairs of boots. And I was looking for something to hold them upright. And I found something sort of that worked, and I came to my husband and I said, I have this idea for this product. I think it's a good little product. Do you want to do it with me? I was doing another business at the time, and he has his own business, and he's like, okay, sure. And so we started off, and basically he financed the business, and he doesn't really do anything. I just do it all now. And so it started about a year and a half ago, and I had a website which I put up, and basically so far I haven't had the time really to do any marketing other than put the website up and do Twitter and Facebook. And so I'm just kind of at this point just about to start really promoting it. But we've sold, I would say, a couple thousand pairs so far just by sort of having the website up there without any kind of marketing. So yeah.
So your social media channels, Twitter and Facebook, you're
Yes.
not doing active marketing. You're just on there.
I'm just on there. I tried a couple times to do Facebook ads, which were not successful for me, which probably has to do with me not doing them properly more than Facebook, but nonetheless, I wasn't able to transition the people following me on Facebook, and I have quite a good following, to those people actually buying the product, so I haven't figured out how to do that yet. And then Twitter, yeah, and just sending out tweets. I recently tried LinkedIn ads, but again, that didn't get me any sales either. So I don't know how, I'm not that tech savvy at all. I kind of know what I'm supposed to use, but I don't really know how to use them properly.
Yeah.
For marketing.
Facebook, I've heard that from other people. Facebook ads
Yeah.
are, they're not reliable. Some people can use them, others not.
Yeah.
But certainly Facebook can help you to get famous and
Yes.
Get in so that people know exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
we met on Twitter, didn't we? Because
Yes.
You responded to one of my scheduled tweets. I schedule
Yes.
8 or 10 a day, and we had an interesting conversation. I followed through with to your website, to your
Right.
Twitter. So there was, first of all, we had an interesting conversation. I went to your Twitter profile. Your Twitter profile was done properly, so
Oh, good,
I
thank
followed
you.
that through to your website.
Yes.
So, in fact, you're doing a lot of things correctly because I followed you through to your website, which is
Right.
what you wanted. It's an interesting product, and then I sent you an email from there,
Yeah.
and then we've emailed back and forth. So your marketing funnel is working, right? Because you got somebody, and that, in fact, I'm going to get my soapbox here. That's how Twitter works. It isn't buy my stuff and then I go 25,000 people go and buy your stuff from there. So
right. Which would be wonderful. That would be awesome. Yeah.
I know, but unfortunately, it doesn't work that way.
No.
It's all about being social.
I guess it is, and just figuring out how social to be and in what way. Like you said, you schedule 8 tweets a day. I mean, that's a good idea. I haven't tried that yet. I have noticed that when I do spend a little bit of time on Twitter, like a few tweets and usually a couple hours, I end up the sales do increase. So I know there's something there, but I just haven't kept the momentum going enough yet. I just haven't had the time. So I'm planning to do that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I like Twitter. I know an awful lot of people don't understand it, But if all you do is take pictures of your lunch, nobody cares.
No.
My lunch was probably better than yours, so.
Yeah.
Or
You're
I
like,
don't like
probably.
what you were eating. So unless you're a chef, truly, who cares? But,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so we know how you got started. Is your how did you get your product manufactured, or where you had this idea,
Right.
and your husband was the one, did he do the design for it, or?
Yeah, yes, he did the design for it. We had, a general idea of what we wanted, and it's sort of interesting because today's Valentine's Day. It's sort of appropriate because they're heart shaped. I realized that just before I came on with you. How appropriate! And they're sort of like, they're heart shaped, and it's a good shape for what we're using it for, and it's also like love your boots. It's kind of all tied into like the tagline and everything. But we sourced the material initially out of the States, the actual plastic, although the product itself was made in Vancouver, actually.
Oh.
The next load of plastic is made in Canada, or has been made in Canada and cut in Canada as well, which we're really happy about and proud about, because I'm all about Canada and having a Canadian-made product and all of that. So that was important to us. Initially, it was hard to source that material in Canada, but but we managed to do it for the second bout. So. Yeah. We designed a product and sent basically a vector diagram down to have it made, and it's a pretty simple product. And then I generally mail them out to people because they go all over, mostly Canada, not so much in the U.S. The shipping price, it's not worth it for the States. It's crazy. Our postage is just ridiculous. So it costs more to ship it to the States than than two pairs. So anyway, in Canada it's a little more reasonable to ship. So we mail them out primarily, although people can pick up from our office if they live in Vancouver.
Right.
Yeah.
When I went to Douglas College, there was a couple of fellows who had e-commerce stores. Now that was about 6 years ago, and I probably haven't spoken to them in the last 2 years. But I know they both had a contract with a woman that picked up their product, and mailed it from Bellingham.
Yeah, I know. I think it's probably the same woman. I looked into that. I think she's in Tawasin or somewhere right by the border. Right. And that's what she does. Yeah, I know about that. Which is if I start getting orders from the States, I have to figure it out financially, because it's not an expensive product.
Right.
And so it has to make sense.
Right.
The shipping can't be half the cost of what they're buying. When you have to pay her a percentage and stuff. So yeah.
That's very interesting. So this is about. So you said you built your website. Had you built a website before, or did you hire someone to help you, or did you do it all yourself?
Yeah, sorry. I should be a little more clear. I had someone. It's a WordPress site.
Right.
And I had someone do the pages of the site. I had someone do that, and then I went in and did a lot of the what's the term? Like the words that you have to.
The content.
The proper words and stuff like that. I went in and did all that, but no, I don't know how to design a site. No, someone did that for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably the best use of your time, is to have someone else do that for you and then keep it up.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Probably WordPress is the best choice.
Yeah. It's a WordPress site. Business. Yeah. And then like the video my husband and I did ourselves, and then I put that up there, and the photos I put up there myself as well.
Nice.
But the general layout was done by someone who knows what they're doing.
Well, that's the best thing, because they can do it quickly, efficiently, and you don't waste a week or two of your time.
And go crazy, because
absolutely.
Yeah.
So what excites you about tech? What kind of tech do you use besides WordPress site?
Okay. So besides the WordPress site, in terms of items that I have, like techie items, I recently, after many, many, many years of being a loyal BlackBerry customer or consumer, I switched to iPhone. And that's because I have a Mac computer and I have an iPad. and I was just getting so frustrated with some stuff that was going on with BlackBerry. And so I have an iPhone now, which is good. I mean, I know how to use that. I'm not a big fan of the typing because BlackBerry had awesome keys to type with. Right. So that's my one bugaboo about the iPhone. So I have an iPad, an iPhone, and a Mac. What else do I have?
So what are you using your iPad for? Do you do business on your iPad, or is that mostly consuming?
Yeah, it's
content?
mostly consuming. I mean, because I have my iPhone, when I get orders for the boot shapers, it comes right to my iPhone. Or it also can come to my iPad, but it's so much bigger to carry around. Yeah. So it's more for just fun around the house, and when we go away, or when I, need to take something larger with me, because the screen obviously is much nicer to work with. I'll take my iPad, but it's more just for fun, really.
Right.
And I like checking out like the latest apps. I'm always Googling top apps February 2014. Like I'm always to see what's out there. And yeah. No,
I agree. I even watch Netflix on my tablet.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, I should say this. When I get on my elliptical in the mornings, I plop my iPad on there, and I watch like Netflix, or I'm into like the TED Talks, finding like the interesting TED Talks. So that kills that makes it easier for me to exercise. So I'd use it for that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
If I'm going to be out and about, and I know I've got an hour to kill between one place and the other, I'll watch Netflix or YouTube, or listen to a business book, something like that. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And House of Cards, just the new House of Cards is on as of today, so I'm kind of psyched about that.
Yeah, it's a really busy weekend. There's lots of events going on, so I'm not going to be able to get to it probably till Monday night or Sunday night.
Oh, okay.
And by that time, everybody will be out there. But I loved it.
Yeah.
I haven't owned a TV for a couple of years, so I binge on Netflix or Hulu.
Yes.
On a small screen, like a 21-inch screen. But I'm happy with that because I don't sit across the room. And I don't have time for much of it. But
and there's not a lot of good stuff on TV anymore.
Well, and I'm not a sports fan.
Yes.
So that sort of took care of that.
Yeah.
So tech is wonderful, but sometimes it just drives you nuts.
Yes.
And I'm wondering just what's your pet peeve about using tech, about how other people use tech.
Yes.
Just what gets under your skin.
Okay. I think one of the things that irks me the most is when I get those auto replies back when I'm following someone either on Facebook or Twitter.
Yes.
And I get that, come join me, blah, blah, blah. And it's that, or come see my new product. Like someone who, it's an auto reply. It's not a personal thing at all, which really defeats the purpose of Twitter, at least, Facebook to some extent. That really bugs me, and it turns me off completely. Like, I'm more likely to unfollow you if you send that, because I just don't think that that's the purpose. That can come down the road, maybe, but, that really bothers me.
No, I'm with you, too. That's one of my rants, and actually, I go through once a week, and I unfollow everybody who does that.
Oh, do you really?
I do. Well, because I was getting so many of them that when I got a real DM, I was missing them.
Yes.
Because there was there was too much. So Margaret Reynolds, who is BC_insurance gal on Twitter, also that's her pet peeve. Blood pressure goes up. And she did a YouTube rant about social media foreplay.
Yeah.
She basically says, we've hardly even met.
Yeah.
And you're selling me something.
You're selling something. Yeah.
So, I know. That, and right now I'm on hashtags, but
Oh, you're on hashtag. I didn't until recently.
Except
you what?
I don't. They're overused, I think.
As
far as I'm concerned, but
Well, and I don't quite get what they mean. Like, I asked my friend who's really big on Instagram, because she had put something, and I'm like, is that just something you made up, or is that like a formal hashtag that people use and know about? Like, I can't quite figure out. She's like, oh, no, I just made that up. And I'm like, oh, so it's just like to put something kind of cute or funny together in one big long word, I guess.
Well, it's supposed to be so that it trends. So I was at a UBC media research workshop last Friday, and there was like 160 people in the room, and I don't know how many people were tweeting, probably a dozen of us. And we used hashtag and then the name of the event, and we were trending in Vancouver. So that meant there was more people using that hashtag.
Right.
But it was an event, and there were, interesting speakers. So.
Right. And you can jump on and follow that then.
Right, yeah. If that's of interest, you're absolutely right. So, and I don't know any other way. I don't like any other way of using a hashtag, and I know people do, but anyway, people have heard that. I wrote something on Google Plus today about hashtag overuse. So.
Okay. Yeah. I was enjoying following Sochi problems. There was
yes.
Yeah. I was laughing. I mean, I don't even know how much of that was real, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, I was just watching Twit TV, which is a video series that's been on for ages and ages, and they were talking about how much of the Sochi problems, Twitter's, that whole stream was real, and how much was sort of exaggerated, because it was interesting that as soon as the Olympics started, all of that disappeared.
I mean, I figured the pictures that included the athletes in them were accurate, like the two sitting on the two toilets next to each other. I guess that was accurate because they were there, but I don't know about the other ones.
Yeah, there might have been, I don't know. Anyway, it was cute. The other thing, I'm not much of a sports fan, so I'm not following it, but the one thing that I did follow, because Facebook, as you know, is all about puppies and kittens, there's I think he's an American athlete who now is going to bring the 4 puppies home with him. He found these stray puppies.
Oh, okay, so, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, it was all over Facebook today. So he's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently they're living in the Olympic Village right now, and he's going to bring them home with him. So.
Oh, that'll be a nice memento.
Yeah, that's right. We won't even talk about the logistics of that. But,
yes.
So, what I'd like to know is something about you that most people don't know.
Okay. I'm a sleuth.
A which?
A sleuth.
Okay.
A detective. A sleuth. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I just, my husband works in a business where that kind of that's sort of required, and he always he knows I'm really good at this, and I don't know what it is. I think it's intuitive on some level in my training and in counseling, and so he will say, okay, can you get information on so and so, like a random person who I don't know, and I just somehow am able to kind of follow a thread through and find the person, find information about them, and he always is astounded because he tries to look them up, he can't find anything, and I just kind of have a way of, I don't know, kind of weaving through, thinking like how the person might think and figuring out where they might go, and I'm always uncovering people for him.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So does that carry through to research for your business too?
I don't, maybe innately. I don't really actively do that in any planned way. So I probably on some level, yes, but not actively, yeah.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I
was always interested in in my counseling work, one of the people I used to work with used to call me the little detective, because I was always like, oh, we just saw that person over there, and now they're talking to, who's that? Oh yeah, okay, I think they're, and they would always laugh at me because I'd try, I'd be figuring out, who's what with whom and what's going on, and yeah.
Good for you. So
Yeah.
Is there any tech that you're excited about? Is there any sort of tech news, things that you're excited about? Wearables? Any trend that's captured your interest?
Well, I'll tell you that I recently went through my emails that come in sort of every morning, and I sort of said, okay, are you one that I pay any attention to? No, unsubscribe. Are you one? Okay, yes, keep you. And basically, I'm sure you know the site Mashable.
Yes.
You know that site? So basically that, and your site actually, now that I know it, because I have it now, is really the only, I got rid of pretty much everything, and I have Mashable because it's really interesting on so many levels. They kind of bring together everything. And so I'm kind of look forward to what they've got up there every day. And what else? That's, I'm not very tech savvy, so there's on CKNW on the weekends, there's a guy whose name escapes me at the moment that does a tech show, and he's always got different guests on, so I always listen to that to hear about sort of the latest, item that's coming out, or and I'm always picking up little bits. I can't think of his name, but
I know who, I'm terrible with names, I'm afraid.
Yeah. It's like 10 o'clock Saturday morning or something. And so I'm always getting like bits of information here and there, and think, oh yeah, I remember he said that the that Google phone, like last weekend, it was like that Google 5 phone or whatever, is an awesome phone, like the best phone out there. So I started looking into that, So like little bits of information from that show, and just little bits that I'll pick up is pretty much how I do it. I don't, I find myself short on time, so I'm never able to really fully delve into any one area. I'm just getting what I can.
Right. Well, there is so much information, and there was a blog post this week on bufferapps.com that talks about sort of ingesting information little bits at a time, exactly the way that you're doing. You're doing it, and how so much is coming to you that you filter out what is going to be of value to you right now, and the rest of it just goes away because it'll come to you again, maybe next week, maybe in the next month, and at that time it's time for you to use that information.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you said Buffer Apps. I've never heard of that, but now I'm going to look that up after I
get home. So Buffer is my favorite app of all the social media apps, and it allows you to very, very simply schedule LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and the other things. I come from a system engineer background, so we test everything, we measure everything, and it's got very, very simple measuring tools there, like real time. You'll know. Buffer app. Yeah. Okay. And it is very, very simple to use. And the other thing is you can schedule to Buffer from a lot of different other kinds of apps, Feedly and other ones. So when you're doing research, if you're going to, it's a way for you to share other people's content, or even your own for that matter. And you just put it up. You tell them, I want 3 tweets a day, and I want one at 8 o'clock in the morning, one at 1 in the afternoon, one at 5, and then it does that for you.
Oh, okay.
So
it sounds like it's like Hootsuite.
Only better.
But better, yeah. Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay, no. So I understand what you're talking about because I know Hootsuite. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's much easier to use, and Hootsuite isn't integrated into a lot of the research apps that I use. Okay. So I would have to. It just takes too long to do that, and the other issue I have with Hootsuite is they don't give you good analytics. Yes. I don't think it's good analytics. I want to know How many people retweeted me? How many people mentioned me? How many people clicked through? What my total reach was on that.
Okay.
That's all I need to know. I don't need
Okay, I'm going to
anything
check
else.
that out. Yeah.
And I don't
So,
want anybody to distill it for me either. You just give me that information, and I can make my own decisions. So,
yeah, I'll do what I want with it. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah, I really
Well,
like that.
okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, that is cool. Well, thank you very much. I'll be following you on Twitter, and I encourage everyone to go to your website, which is www.bootshapers.ca.
Yes, and let me just say one little thing about it, just because I didn't really explain what the product was, even though you could see it on the website. So you take the boot shaper and you roll it up and you stick it into the top of your boot, and it expands and keeps your boot upright.
So it doesn't flop over all over the place.
Right, and lets air circulation to go in.
Nice.
And then when you take them out, unlike those big wooden or those big plastic ones, it's just a thin piece of material that lies flat. So you could travel with it, you could stick it on a shelf in your closet, it doesn't take up any space. Nice.
Yeah, I looked at it and I thought, I always like those products that just make sense and do what do what they're supposed to. I love that.
Simple and expensive, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Bonnie.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye.